Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a match between Light and Larva off of bwreplays.com here on Fighting Spirit. Top right-hand corner is the Red Terran player Light, playing under Star Master today, and in the bottom right-hand corner is the White Zerg player Larva, playing under QUE DD. Alright, man, so two players with a long history of playing on my channel and playing Brood War. More importantly here, they do have a match that I cast of theirs from bwreplays.com again, back on August 3rd. So been a while since these guys have played a game on the channel, but very happy to have them back again. It was an amazing, amazing ZVT. I don't even recall who won. I think Light came out on top, but it's been a while. I just remember really having a lot of fun casting it. Ended up getting about 21,000 views, so that was pretty popular on the channel as well, putting it in definitely the top 10% of all the videos I've ever cast and ever posted on the channel. But anyway, Larva is well known for his macro style, for his BM sometimes in major tournaments, and Light has just been around for a really long time. He's been a very consistent Korean Terran player. Really like what he's been doing in the StarCraft world, and I love to watch him play. He's just really great with Goliaths. He's fantastic with tanks. I've seen him do amazing things versus Zerg players, and we'll see what he can pull off today here against Larva. Again, a macro king and somebody who's going to start throwing waves and waves of Zerg units at him sooner rather than later. Looks like Larva is going to go for the hatch first here at about 12 supply. And in fact, there it is. 300 minerals are done. Meanwhile, no command center first here out of Light. That'd be really greedy, but at the same time, I kind of feel like it'd be smart. Right? Because you know this pool is going to be late. I mean, you don't know it. Sometimes Zerg players can get a pull down early. They can 4-pool you. And if you go command center first in that position, you're going to die. So, I don't know. The hatch first is common, but it's not quite common enough to where I don't think that Light can be all that pleased and all that confident going for a command center first play. I want to say in StarCraft 2, though, if you don't watch my casts of those, give them a shot. They may be different from what you're used to. There's a lot less just like big armies moving at each other until somebody wins. It's a lot more tactical. It's a lot more precision. It's a lot more just smaller groups attacking each other all over the map. If you like that stuff, give it a shot. Alright, so the drone's in here scouting around is going to see nothing too untoward at all. It's a bit of a gasless opening. We're just going to make some Marines, maybe get a bunker down to defend, and then expand it down here at about the 400 mineral mark. And by about, I mean right at the 400 mineral mark, because that's how much you need to make a command center. But anyway, in StarCraft 2, it kind of feels like Zerg goes hatch first against Terran so much. So much. The going command center first almost seems entirely safe, even without scouting. But I don't know, that's another conversation for another video for sure. Alright, man, so where's your pool? Here's your pool. It is done. Throwing up a macro hatch at the top of the ramp here for that additional larva production. Larva loves his larva, no question about it. And a second barracks opening up here from Light. So he's going to go for some Marine defense, I have to assume. Marine pressure, hard to pull off in this situation. I just feel like Sunkens and Lings can handle it pretty darn well. And depending on the timing here, if you wait for medics and you wait for fire bats and stuff, lurkers can actually be out. So if this is scouted by Larva and he knows it's coming, but if some 2-base pressure can really cause some problems. But check this action out. It's just 2 Marines all by their lonesomes here. Recognizing, I think, that Larva is skimping on Lings a little bit. He's only got a couple down here, which means these 2 Marines should be able to handle them no problem. Oh, man, almost killing the one there. Going to get health bars up on these dudes. And yeah, man, the SCV wants to throw it out of bunker, I think, but can't because there's creep. Obviously. Yeah, more Lings are on the way, but I mean, just basically forcing Larva to play honestly. These Marines came down. Are there additional Marines? No, it looks like we're heading home. Just enough to force Larva to respond. He'd rather be making drones here. He really doesn't want to have to be making Lings if he doesn't have to. And as a result, I think Light won that interaction. He didn't lose anything. I mean, Larva didn't either, right? Larva didn't lose any Lings. He's got an injured one somewhere. Did that thing already get up to full HP? Oh, no, there it is. That's the one that's injured. But regardless, we do have not a third base from Larva, but instead going for a lair. And he's got that double gas rocking too, so this could be Spire. This could be 2-base Muta-Lisk opening here, which I'm not sure that Light has scouted or not. He did get pretty far in here with his Marines. I'm not sure if he saw that second extractor. And again, he had an SCV running around too, scouting for quite some time. How he responds to this is going to tell us everything. Is he making an engineering bay? And the answer is no. He's going for an academy, so he's not going to have turrets at some point here, but yes, there it is. There is our Spire right inside the main base. We have some Sunkens at the front to defend against any pressure that will come before those Mutas come out. And I think Light has a bit of a window to try to get something done here. If he came down like now with all these Marines, and he could take down these creep colonies before they turned into Sunkens and then pretty much win. But again, that's the key here. That is the thing, is knowing exactly when to attack. When does your opponent leave you a window to attack? And knowing that information can be the difference between winning and losing a game, no question about it. But yeah, Light's just waiting on Stim. He is getting some fire bats. I can see those guys in the production tab, which is pretty fantastic stuff. But dealing with a couple Sunkens is different from dealing with a couple of lurkers here. Engineering bay, yes. Light is going for an engineering bay. He is going for a factory here as well. He's going to start with those turrets at the very last second. You don't need them now. You'd rather have more other attacking units, more SCVs. But as the Lings do dart on in, they're going to try to get into this mineral line and cause some problems. Picking off an SCV up that ramp is impossible. There are 2 fire bats there. Bunch of Lings die. One manages to escape to tell his story and the story of his friends. But 3 Sunkens at the front. That's pretty much all we have here to defend against what Light can possibly push down over here. But I don't know, man. 6 Mutas are already on the way. 6 Mutas already on the way. Missile turrets under construction. Yes, we've got 1 underway. According to the production tab here inside the natural base, we probably should have some more over here in the main. 2, there we go. 2 more on the way inside the... Are they in the main or are they both over here? All of them are in the natural, interestingly enough. And then everybody comes home because they recognize the Mutas are on their way. The timing is up. A lot of Mutas popping. 4 more on the way here. Turrets just being thrown up everywhere. They don't take that long to construct, but when you have Mutas flying at you full speed ahead, it cannot feel like long enough. Hydrolisk then from Larva 2. Interestingly enough, this is very interesting. And Lurker aspect. Wow. So he's not going for a 3rd base. He's perfectly happy competing 2 base to 2 base here against Light, despite the fact that his Muta opening got entirely destroyed. We've got turrets everywhere. This is definitely more Mutas than just the 5 or 6 you generally see for harassment. He's got a good 9 or so. That's what we saw previously being built. So, I mean, yeah, you can go ahead and fight. You can pick off random units that are running across the map here. And maybe take a 3rd base too, but the 3rd base is going to be late, and it's 67 and 64 supply. This is so many Mutas. Holy crap. Is this 11 Mutas? It is. It's 11 Muta-Lisks out. You almost maybe need more missile turrets, more Marines. Gotta start getting up those science vessels, that's for sure, as the science facility is under construction. But yeah, man, going for lurkers and going for Muta-Lisk. Is that a freaking hive? Dang. 7-minute hive out of Larva here. Instead of being greedy with his expansion timings, he's being greedy with his tech. Really, really greedy with his tech, and I think it's working out for him. He's got Mutas for map control. I don't think Light wants to move out when there are this many Mutas present. Yeah, there we go. Picking off at the periphery here. Mutas, picking off Marines on the edge. It's just, this is way too many. More Marines do come in. They have stim, they have medics to support here too. I don't think you want to engage in that situation. Larva kind of thinking about it with that turret getting extra shots off too. Man, he's doing it. Do you almost want to stim? These are a lot of Marines getting picked off right now. I don't think any of these Mutas have died. Maybe one of the Mutas have died here. This is really great Muta control out of Larva, and suddenly pulling back a little bit. Maybe going to start losing some of these medics here too. The Marine count is really anemic right now. There is a science vessel here, but it doesn't have a radiate. It almost needs to be a target fire. Wow, medics getting picked off. This group of Mutas, they are down to 8. They have lost some of their friends, but I think they've been making some pretty adequate trades here. Although losing a couple more Mutas there, maybe not what you want to do. That said, he's keeping this Marine count low. Missile turret's getting some shots off there too. The Muta count is down to 3. I'm not sure you want to trade all of your Mutas for this Larva, but maybe I do. Oh my gosh, keeping medics low too. I really want to say, geez, it's 68 to 55 total supply. I mean, sure, lost some Mutas, but took a 3rd base in the process. Went for lurker aspect, got a ton of Lings out. Do you have any lurkers on the field yet? No, there are definitely some Hydras, and you're on Hive Tech. With Adrenal Glands on the way, with a Defiler Mound coming in at 9 minutes here too. I want to say that Light is on the short end of the stick here. He has been absolutely just kind of bamboozled into not adequately preparing for that many Muta-Lisks. The missile turret production was good. He didn't lose many SCVs, which is good, but he traded Marines for them. And I mean, yeah, you're not coming in here, guys. Sorry, Zerglings. There are tanks present. There are bunkers present. It's just not going to work out for you guys at all. No matter what upgrades you have, no matter how fast you are, you're going to die if you try to go in there. So please be smart. Please be cautious. And please run responsibly. Evolution Chamber on the way here. Larva is not quite getting any upgrades yet, other than adrenal glands, but it looks like he's gearing up for it. Light. Working on spider mine research. So the number of lings out really necessitate, okay, spider mines are going to be pretty good in this particular situation. So let's go ahead and tech into that. Just in the meantime, more fire bats, more marines, more medics here too. I really, really like the medics that we're rolling with right now out of light. And siege tanks set up. This is where we start to push. This is where we start to slowly move our way down. Protecting our tanks with fire bats, marines. And I'm assuming these science vessels have a radiate. I didn't see the upgrade come through, but that's the first thing you do when you make science vessels, is get a radiate. These lings, though, oh gosh, fire bats, tanks, they got to get out of there. 3 of them managed to escape with their little Zergy lives there. I like the map vision, though. I mean, dang, Larva has units everywhere. Look at all this white. Just little bits of vision available everywhere. Anywhere that light goes, he's going to run into those, and Larva will know exactly where he's heading. Alright, so this ling died. Probably going to set up for a third base over here. I mean, so Larva knows that. He's aware. It's very nice. Got some lurkers set up in the middle of nowhere. That's a weird place to run into lurkers, I can tell you that much. But I mean, fire bats. I love the fire bats here. They have +1 attack. They do 16 splash damage, I believe it is, and they're melee. So they gotta get right up and close to the enemy, but they hit like trucks. I think it's 2 attacks of 8, I want to say is what it is with these guys. So beautiful against lings, and the number of lings that Larva is rolling with definitely necessitates that kind of a thing. Lurkers burrowing at the 3rd and 4th base locations here of Larva, shutting that thing down quite nicely. Any aggression's gonna have a hard time. Lurkers got on this ramp. Are you kidding me? How did that happen? My goodness. Tanks have to be forced into position to get rid of those guys. You don't come home. No, light. No, we got it. This is under control. The lurkers are dead. Keep pushing. Keep pushing on something. Put some pressure on Larva. You can't go home every time something happens like that. You really can't do it. That said, I haven't seen any radiate, so maybe assuming a radiate is done was the wrong thing to assume. Are there any tanks with this army? No, man, they're still staying back home. Light, buddy. You gotta bring some tanks with you. You gotta deal with these lurkers that way. The ling's running to their deaths. But then the lurker's getting some nice spines up. And there's your irradiate. Alright, so irradiate happening, hurting these lurkers quite extensively there. Irradiating all of them? Quite possibly. That seems like something that you want to do, is irradiate all of them and just kill them all immediately. Sure, a lot of Marines are going to die, maybe some SCVs too, but the lurkers are out. And that's all that really matters. That is some decent trading. 1 spell from mana that comes back over time, from energy that comes back over time in exchange for a lurker is definitely a fair trade, 100%. Metasynaptic node on the way, got an Ultralisk Cavern. We do have some Ultras in production from Larva. And just some Nidus. Just some Nidus canals for easy transports from here to there. We got some Lings and Lurkers and a Defiler here due to irradiate the Defiler. Do it now. Do you have energy to irradiate the Defiler? If you don't, you really should, I feel like. There's an irradiate on the Lurker. That was a mistake. I mean, sure, irradiating Lurkers is a decent target, but at the same time, what you really want to be doing here is irradiating that Defiler and killing it. Making it so it can't do stuff later on. Did all these Mutas die? Oh, some Mutas are down here hanging out. I guess maybe they could turn into, like, Guardians or Devourers later. Who knows? I really don't. 129 to 107 supply. Light is up in total supply, but by golly, Larva is suddenly on 5 bases, where Light is struggling to sit on 3 here right now. He's definitely behind. Larva is playing this thing exceptionally well, defending with a few units that he needs, while Light continues to push on in and try to get stuff done, but the run buys are causing problems. They're really causing Light to turn back from time to time, buying Larva the time that he needs to make this thing happen. And, oh, there's the Dark Swarm, and the Vulture's just getting rocked there. There you go. Irradiating that Defiler, it's going to die. These are the tradesmen. You make Defilers, and then they get irradiated, and they die, and you hope they can cause or cast some spells before they die, but sometimes that's not a possibility. Oof, this Defiler is running this... running his bio into this lurker. 11 kills. All right, that was amazing stuff. You could maybe kill that Defiler, guys. All right, well, irradiate it. That's cool, but here come the Scourge. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, the science vessels go down. I don't know. I want to say that Light is a bit in control here, but Larva's getting some stuff done. He is making some incredible trades. And taking out all those science vessels is a big deal here, too. He's working on chitinous plating for his Ultralisks. Yeah, man. Spider mines. Oh, not actually working as well as I'd expect them to there. Once again, Defiler running around. Not much happening there. More Dark Swarms getting tossed up all over the place. It is just sheer chaos right now on the map. Meanwhile, Light is expanding to these two bases too, so both players are macroing up exceptionally well while battling in the middle of the map. Light is currently up a lot. He's up 137 to 121. He doesn't actually end up getting that lurker somehow. I'm not sure where the Vultures had to go otherwise. Do they have a prior engagement? Possibly. It sure seems like it. But Ling's running on up to deal with these Vultures, but catching Spider Mines in the face just a little bit too. Getting surrounded. There's the Dark Swarm, and that is just such a great combo versus Vultures. Their projectiles doing absolutely nothing under that Dark Swarm. Are we transitioning? Holy crap, we're transitioning, guys. We're transitioning into mech all of a sudden. A lot of tanks. The Marines and the medics are not going to count for much here. Barracks are scouting. That's how you know. That's how Larva should know. We're transitioning heavily into mech. And we'll see how that works out. I think Light is making the correct choice in doing so with the Ultra attack. Tanks just wreck those guys. Absolutely destroy them. I have personal first-hand experience with that. Yeah, but Lings keep rolling on up into this, and just they're not going to cut it. Not against siege tanks and not against Vultures. Maybe they can get some stuff done against Bio, but not in this particular situation. Yeah, man. Lurker, is that inside the Dark Swarm? It isn't. And as a result, it is dead. Placement. Placement means everything. All right, man. So 5 base versus 5 base. Trying to take a 6. Larva. Expanding along the left side. Trying to make that happen. And Barracks just in scouting positions everywhere. There's a lot of red on this map, you guys. Going for Charon boosters. Going for Titan Reactor. Plus 50 Science Vessel energy. And just Ultras. I'm really not convinced that Ultras are the way you want to go here, Larva. Although we've seen this before. Get out of the Dark Swarm. Okay, everyone just dies. That's fine, too. Totally great. Ultralisks. With that extra armor, they're sitting here at 4 armor with +1 attack. They're working on +2 attack. They're working on anabolic synthesis to increase their speed, which is really great. Anything melee, especially. To have extra speed is less time you're getting shot at before you get on top of your target. It's amazing. More Scourge flying around, trying to find them their science vessels. And smash them in the face. There's one. You missed it, though. Have anything? Oh, hang on. Well, one did end up going down over there, but now there's missile turrets up, and I don't think the Scourge can get anything done. Yeah, man. 167, 169 to 176 supply, and Larva is happily sitting on the number of bases he wants. He's got 6. He's got Ultralisks. He's got pretty much everything a Zerg could want in his entire life here. It's looking pretty good for him, but on the other hand, this tank count is insane. It's +1 attack on those tanks, working on +2 and +1 armor. Observers flying around to see what they can see, and the answer is a lot of Terran. 184 now to 177, just bouncing back and forth. Who has the supply lead? And right now, it is definitely Light. He's been left alone for the most part. I mean, there was a bit of an attack at his 3rd base once, but really didn't do too much damage overall. That is so many Ultralisks. Holy crap, you've invested into a lot of Ultras, my friend. How's the Dark Swarm gonna do against these +2 tanks? Can you get enough of it? Are you spreading the tanks out enough to where they can't get plagued all that much? I mean, I'm just trying to figure this out. We're making 4 tanks at a time, all the way to max right now. Reaching EMP Shockwave, and here we go. Here are some Ultras fighting against some tanks. And the tanks are not even bothering to really be in siege mode here and actually doing pretty well for themselves. Are these Drop Lords? These are Drop Lords. We've got Drop Lords here. Gonna try to unload on something, thinking about it, but perhaps reconsidering. As the sound of siege tanks going into siege mode fills the air. Vultures actually sneaking in, wow, right into this 5th or 6th base. causing some problems for these drones here, but coming on up, the Zerg army dropping on top of these siege tanks, getting irradiated. But are there enough Ultras to actually make this happen? Getting some Dark Swarm on top of them too. That's what I'm talking about. What an insane situation this is right now. The Ultras are going to town on the missile turrets, onto the tanks, trying to get up on top of other tanks here. Spider Mine's not quite firing. There are too many Ultras here. The tank line is broken, and suddenly the third base is in a lot of trouble. Light losing a ton of stuff up here if he doesn't react to this very quickly. Very quickly indeed. Tanks are going to try to come up here and deal with this. A Marine is fighting as best he can with medic support, but it's not going to be enough. Tank messing up the ability of other tanks to get up here, and that's going to be enough to clear these guys out. Actually picking up and saving them. What a great play there by Larva. Attacking down the left side now is Light. Getting into that 6th base, if at all possible. Can he do it? Does this still has Ultras in it? But tanks are wiping out the static defense at Larva's 6th base. He's in a lot of trouble there. Some Scourge are out. These guys are still doing nothing. Suddenly, after a lot of attacking, there's just not much going on. Although Vulture's swinging on in. And once again, setting up in a position where the Sunkens can't really hurt them. Although there are some Ultras coming in, and they can definitely hurt them. Can you hit this hatch from here? The Extractor, yes. The Hatchery, I don't think so. We have some Lings trying to respond to this. I don't think there are enough of them really to do this thing. They are Cracklings. They have 2-2 instead of the 3-3 they're working on, plus the armor. Strangely enough, not going for the attack here. I don't know, man. That's a lot of tanks. I don't know. There's the Dark Swarm, though. That makes a lot of the difference here. Friendly fire tank splash, getting some serious hits against these Ultras. Ling's dying, too. I think there are just enough tanks here to make it happen against the Ling Ultra. In general, I just think this is better. Tanks are better than Ling Ultra in general. Another great Dark Swarm as soon as the tanks go into siege mode. More Vultures darting on in to wipe out more drones in this base. Slowing down Larva's economy is a huge way you're going to win this game, as he loves him some economy, and just losing drones over and over at this 5th cannot feel good for him at all. There's so much red. There's so much red covering this map right now. The tanks are looking insurmountable. +2 attack, +1 armor. They're setting up and threatening separate bases at once right now. And by that I mean actually not this one anymore, as all those tanks got killed. But these tanks are definitely threatening. Ling's trying to roll up. Nah, man. Not going to happen. One Ultra tries to come in. Suddenly, no. 174 to 141 supply. Vulture's trying to rock back here, but the Lings come in and clear those guys out with the help of the Dark Swarm. Scourge getting picked out of the sky here. Do these Goliaths have the Charon booster upgrade? Yes, they do. There's that blue. Saw that blue. That's what you want. Lings and Ultras attacking on in. Where is the Dark Swarm? I don't know. It's not going to be enough, and that's your good game. Larva taps out. Light is your winner. Bit of a conversation back and forth here in Korean as they're discussing, and Flash. Good heavens. And Larva has left the game. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Amazing ZVT there. Once again, though, once these tanks start getting cranked out, you really just can't go Ling Ultra against this. Your Dark Swarm can be good. Your Dark Swarm can be very good, but just tanks. They're fairly cheap. They hit like trucks. They have quite a huge range here. This base was in trouble. This base by proxy was in trouble too. There was no saving it. And that meant this base in the bottom left was in trouble. And I mean, that was it. That was a question of economics. Light had a lead. It was going to get worse there. And Larva tapped right out. So good attempts there. Good battles there. I loved what we saw there with the Ling Ultra, Dark Swarm. But the upgrades weren't quite 3-3. I'm not sure if that mattered too much, just with the number of tanks that were on the field here. But yeah, the macro and the tech switch and everything that Light did there from just everywhere was beautiful. Look, he's even sown the area with spider mines in case there's a doom drop over here. That is so smart. And there was a bit of an attack at the third a couple times, but once again, handled pretty well just with tank support. This base never got touched. This base never got touched. The natural really never got touched, other than that Muta harass early, and the main never really got bothered either. So, I mean, another base on the way. If we look at the buildings lost, it's going to make a big difference here in the end score. If you kill, I really want to say the buildings that were killed were largely missile turrets, kind of out here in the middle of nowhere. And I'm not sure those exactly count. We're looking at final score. So good job by Light getting the win here over Larva. Larva trying to go full Larva with his 6 bases of Ling Ultra. But Unfortunately, there was just too much tank, too much mech. And Light gets the win. So let's check out that final score before I let you go. And yeah, pretty even. Look at that, man. 156,000 to 160,000 overall here. Units killed, 455 by Light, 175 killed by Larva. Structures raised, not that many actually. Yeah, man, only 3 structures raised there by Larva in the game. That's problematic. And then resources, man, Larva outmined him. Not really all that significantly, and really only spent 2,000 more resources than Light did. And when you're dealing with a cost-efficient mech army like that, it's just not enough. So great job here by Light getting the win in this TVZ, and that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me at Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.